Hey guys, welcome back. In this mini lesson, I'll be sharing some tips to help you when you change your guitar strings. We all have to change them from time to time, so these tips are meant to make it easier, more enjoyable, and less complicated. Let's jump in. First off, make sure you have all your supplies ready to go before you even start. This would include things like your new pack of strings, some wire cutters to cut the excess off the new strings, your tuner, and maybe a cloth or some guitar oils in case you want to clean your guitar while you're changing your strings. Second tip, super important, always have an extra pack of strings on hand in case one of the strings breaks or you happen to put one in the wrong place. You don't want to get stuck in the middle having to go to the store just to get a new pack. So this next tip is optional, but I would highly recommend it. During this process, you're going to have easier access to the fretboard, so it makes it a perfect time to clean your guitar. You can use a really soft cloth or you can use some guitar oils. I normally just use a soft cloth. It's actually for a computer, but it works great to take off any dust or finger marks that may have built up from the oils on my fingers. Okay, fourth tip. This is something I've always done and it's always helped me. Set out the individual string packages in order from biggest to smallest. So the 6th string to the 1st string. This will help you keep everything in order and make sure you don't put the wrong string in the wrong place. This next tip is more of a safety tip. So when you're opening each individual string package, make sure to do so carefully and slowly. Because of the way that the strings are wound up inside the packages, they're essentially spring-loaded. So sometimes when you open the little flap, they'll unroll on their own. So just be mindful of that and be careful. The next tip is to tune each string after you change it, as well as any previous string before that. So for example, if you've just changed the 5th string, you're going to go ahead and tune the 6th string and the 5th string. Then when you change the 4th string, you're going to tune the 6th string and the 5th string and the 4th string, and so on. This will help your guitar learn the tuning that it's supposed to stay in. Also, bonus tip to add to that, make sure you tune your string after you cut the excess wire. Sometimes when you cut it, it'll make the tuning go out of place, so be sure to go back and retune it. The next tip is one that sometimes people look over, but be sure to put some tension on the string while you're tuning it up to the right pitch after you change it. So if you've changed the string and you're tuning it up to the right pitch, go ahead and put a little bit of tension on the string by using your finger to pull up on that string over the sound hole area. This will actually help to prevent breakage later on. But while you're doing this, make sure that the peg doesn't come loose, so you might need to press down on it with your thumb a little while you're tuning it. Okay, next tip is kind of a given, but make sure to go slow while you're tuning your strings after you change them. Most of us, if not all of us, have popped a string when we're changing our strings, so just be mindful of that. Also, don't worry if you hear a popping sound but your string didn't break. It's usually just because there's some slack in the hole where the peg is and the string happened to give way at that time. You'll just have to retune the string and you'll be good. Once you're finished, make sure you look around for any pieces of string that may have fallen on the ground when you cut your strings. These can be super sharp and you definitely don't want to step on them. Finally, last tip, make sure to tune your guitar frequently and play as much as you can so that you can break in the strings and they hold their tuning better. So that wraps up these tips for changing your guitar strings. I'll see you in the next lesson.